Welcome to our video. Today we're going to talk about Toyota Tundra fog lights, specifically LED, HID, and halogen bulb replacements and upgrades for the 2014 and up Toyota Tundra. Welcome to the 2014 and up Toyota Tundra lighting video series. My name is Chris, and this is Headlight Revolution. In front of me, we have several different light bulb products. They're all upgrades of different kinds, and you would pick one because of another for very different reasons. So I want to go through each style to kind of give you an idea what's out there today and why you would pick one over another. The first thing I want to show you is just give you an overview of the 14 and up Tundra fog light. They did change the fog light starting in 2014, and if you look at the plastic here, it says USA 12 volt and H16, and that's interesting because that tells us that this housing uses an H16 bulb. And the very first thing I want to address is that until this housing and this light bulb for this truck came out, a bulb like this has never been called an H16. Up until this was released, when you said H16, most people would refer to this type of light bulb. This is what's most commonly referred to, especially in the aftermarket LED or HID bulb world, as an H16. It's more correctly known by a 2504 or a 5202 or a 9009. But Toyota is calling their new H11 style light bulb an H16. This has caused a lot of confusion with truck owners wanting to replace their light bulbs, because they'll hop on the internet and they'll buy an H16 and they'll get this type of a bulb with the big butterfly tabs, and that is not going to work at all. I mean, obviously that's not going to connect to anything. So when you're talking about H16, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. What you really want is an H11. Nobody out there, whether it's the biggest companies or the generic Chinese ones or anybody in between, nobody has an H16 LED bulb that looks like this. This is a brand new, creation by Osram. So if you look at it, it's actually a super small version of an H11. A traditional H11 has a much bigger glass tube with a bigger filament, but the exact same base and mounting construction. So with that being said, I want to show you what an H11 light bulb looks like next to the Toyota H16. And what I have here is a set of Vision X halogen H11 light bulbs, and these are going to be way brighter than these H16. So if you want to just do a cheap halogen upgrade, this is really, really easy to do. The H11 from Vision X has a nearly identical construction to the H16 from Osram found in this Toyota fog light, but it has a larger glass and it is rated at 55 watts, where the H16 is rated at 19 watts. And that references how much power the light bulb consumes to operate. So it consumes more power, which also means it will get hotter and it will be brighter. So you can do this kind of light bulb, but know that you will be increasing the amount of heat inside this housing. So just be aware of that. So although these two light bulbs are extremely similar in design, something that you'll notice is that the three keys, or the mounting prongs, are a little bit different. And this is done on purpose so that you, the consumer, can't say, oh, this bulb looks like that bulb, I'll just slap it in there. Because Toyota doesn't want you putting an H11 bulb in their H16 housing. So it's really actually hard to even see the differences, but when you try to put them in, those differences really show up. The H16 goes in without a problem. It pushes in place and slides into the locking position. And the H11, if you line it up the exact same way, I mean, you can get it in, but you kind of have to finagle it. You get two of the prongs lined up first, or do the bigger one first. You know, you can get it in there, but it kind of takes some convincing. So now we have the H11 bulb installed, and this would actually be really, really hard to do with the fog light housing installed on the vehicle, which is one of the reasons why we have it off the vehicle for this demo. So you can do the Halogen H11s, and they'll work. They're just kind of a pain to get in and get out. That's why we recommend having the fog light actually off the truck. And in a minute, I'm going to show you how to remove the fog light and even how to gain access to it. So we'll do that next, but I want to show you some more products that are good options for your fog lights. There's a lot of LED light bulbs out there that are H11. Anything that's listed as H16, again, is probably going to be this style, and that's not what you want. So what I actually wanted to show you is the 16 LED H11 from GTR Lighting. This is part number 7010264. It is very similar in terms of the way the three tabs are, so it's going to go in the same way. And it's going to be a little bit more forgiving than the H11 halogen bulb, because the manufacturers of the LED light bulbs make them a little bit more universal in how they go in. So it's still not going to go in just super easy and perfect, because it is an H11 and this is an H16, but it's really not bad. It's a lot easier than the halogen light bulb. So now you can see we have the 80 watt H11 inside this fog light housing. Now the reason that you would go with this product instead of one of the new LED conversion kits or the LED headlight bulbs is this is more of a cheaper alternative for LED lighting. It kind of turns your fog lights into more of an accent, because as you can see, it looks nice. It's got kind of a aftermarket HID style color, but it's not going to put out tons and tons of light. So if you do an HID conversion kit on your headlights, which is going to be the brightest option for your headlights right now, but you don't want to do an HID conversion kit for your fog lights because it's too expensive or you're afraid they'll get too hot, then you can do this light bulb, and it's going to match the color of most HID kits at a fraction of the cost. And there's no extra parts, there's no ballast, there's nothing to mount. You just take out the light bulb and put the new one in. So they're still a little bit difficult to get in and out because it's not exactly the same bulb, but it's not that big of a deal. They're easier to get in than a standard halogen H11. So it's a good, cheap alternative that's very easy to put in, and it's going to give you that LED or HID kind of look to your fog lights without spending a ton of money. The next LED product that I want to show you, and this is the one that we recommend the most because it's going to be the most functional, gives you the most options, and it's super easy to put in. I want to show you the GTR Lighting 2nd generation LED headlight bulbs. It's a conversion kit, but it's an all-in-one kit. So it's just like a replacement light bulb. There's no extra parts to mount, there's no ballast, there's no driver. It really is a plug-and-play option, but the cool thing is you can change the color. This is the first LED conversion kit on the market where you can pick the color of your light output. Inside each kit, you have 2 light bulbs and these packages of color shields that allow you to slip over the light bulb for different colors. And this is what the bulbs look like. You see they're fairly small. I mean, they're kind of big, but in terms of other LED conversion kits that are out there, these are small. And the thing that you'll notice is that there's no extra parts to mount. It's quite literally just this piece that goes in and out of the housing. And you can see that it mounts very easily. There's nothing to it. Even less hassle than the smaller LED bulbs from before. And this is the H11 again, and it's got the correct connector, so it's all plug and play. It has the exact same mounting collar style as the original H16 bulb. But here's the interesting thing about this product. You see where the GTR logo is on the top? That's actually a thumb screw that you can twist off. And then it has this little sleeve that goes over the lights. So with the LED bulb turned on with no shields over it, it lights up as 5000K. And you use these different color shields to change the color of the light. You start here, and it turns it 3000K gold. This one turns it 4300K OEM white. And then with no color shields, it's 5000K. You put the white filter over it, and then you get 6000K. You put the light blue filter, and now you get 8000K. And lastly, this one will do 10,000K. So you really have the ability to customize the style of light that you want from your fog lights. And this is something, the reason we're showing you this product and not something else is because nobody else's product does this. So this is a really unique feature from this product, and it's easy to install in the Tundra fog lights. There's no ballast to mount, so we actually prefer this one over an HID kit. So the way that this bulb is constructed is you have 4 5-watt Cree LEDs on each side, surrounded by a silver reflector. And this entire tower acts as the heat sink for this light bulb. And then below the adapter collar, you have a metal heat sink with a high power waterproof fan built in. So it's really an interesting, unique, compact design that we think works really well. We have had a lot of people put these in their vehicles and they love the light output, and they love even more the ability to change the color. Because until now, that wasn't really an option with the LED fog light or LED headlight world. You would pick one light bulb that either did this color, or this color, but now with this one, you can get your fog light kit, you can get your headlight kit, and pick the colors, mix and match depending on what style you want this week or today or for a particular car show. And it's hot swappable, really easy. So this is a really cool product. Super easy to install, no extra parts, quite literally plug and play, and you get to pick the color. Not to mention, they are super bright. These are gonna be way brighter than the stock fog lights. The last light bulb option I wanna talk to you about for your 2015 Tundra fog lights is an HID conversion kit. The one I'm gonna show you is the 35-watt 6000K H11 conversion kit from GTR Lighting. Now, until about a year ago, this was really the only product available on the market for something that's brighter than stock. And then came along the LED conversion kits like what we just looked at. Now with HID, you get a bulb and you can pick the color. You have to do that ahead of time. 3000K, 4000K, 5000K, all the way up to 12,000K, depending on the color that you want and what makes sense for your application. And it comes with one bulb and one ballast per side. So that's the big drawback of sticking with HID. Up until now, there was nothing brighter than an HID. So HID is really king of the hill in terms of light output, the amount of light, the beam pattern, different colors that are available. So it's a really good option in terms of something reliable with tons and tons of light output and a beautiful beam pattern. Because that is something that LED conversion kits have struggled with until now, is the beam pattern. It looks bright when you're looking at the truck, but when you get behind the driver's seat, the light's kind of scattered. HID actually does a much better job in terms of a more focused beam pattern. You still get some glare, but it's not as bad as most LED conversions. So I just want to show you something why you might want to stick with this second gen LED headlight bulb from GTR instead of going the HID route for this particular option. For the headlights, I would actually still recommend HID. And if you want to see the headlight video where we do all these same options on the headlights, check out our channel. We've also got an LED versus HID headlight install video for the same truck. So the bulbs come in pairs and you pick your color, and the GTR ones are what we sell, and they are extremely high quality. If you have never tried a GTR HID kit and all you've tried is the ones that are like 35 or 50 bucks or $100, this kit is going to blow your mind. The bulbs are beautiful and amazing. They're brighter than cheaper kits. The color looks nicer than cheaper kits. The ballasts are more high quality. There's a lower failure rate, on and on and on. They're well worth the money for a high quality name brand HID conversion kit like GTR Lighting. So here's the bulb from GTR. And again, you can see it's extremely similar to the H16 that came out of this Tundra fog light. However, the tabs are kind of large. They're very beefy tabs. So when you line it up and try to get it in, you really have to fight it. I can do it though. I've already done it once. And I even like to employ the help of a set of pliers. There you go, got it in. Now you can see inside the housing. So you can get it in And when you plug everything together, you know, the bulbs come with this adapter harness where 2 of the wires connect to the ballast, power output, 2 of the wires connect to the ballast power input, and then your last one is just like the stock bulb, and it plugs into your factory wiring. And when we power this up, you're going to get that familiar HID flash, and it does make a lot of light, way more than the original halogen light bulb, and a lot more than that first LED bulb. And it takes a little while to warm up all the way, but it's a very impressive product. The only downfall to going with HID, other than having to mount a ballast, is if you wanted to remove them from the housing, that's even harder than getting them in, just because of how tight of a fit they are. I can do it, all right? Just kind of have to wiggle it back and forth with the pliers. It's kind of difficult though. So I mean, if you never have to take them out, great. We are a company that sells car parts, right? But if you're gonna buy this product, I want you to know what you're getting yourself into. This can be done. We can get the HIDs to work. It's not that hard, but it's not as easy as the LED light bulbs. So we got it out. Just had to use some help with the pliers. Now that we've done a product overview and you've seen the main differences between the LED bulbs and the HID kit, I want to actually show you on the truck how to get access to your fog lights, how to remove them from the truck if you want to, and give you some ideas of what the different light outputs look like between the original halogen light bulbs, the LEDs, and the HID. So let's go to the truck and I'm going to show you step by step how to get at your fog light bulbs. In order to get to the back side of your fog light and to remove it, if that's how you want to do this, you have 3 10mm bolts to take off. You don't actually have to remove the fog light housing to do this install, but removing it might make it easier for you. So try the install with the fog light on the truck first. If you can't get it, it's really quite simple to take off. Your first 2 10mm bolts are on the backside trailing edge of the bumper, and they hold the plastic liner in place. And the third one is down underneath, closer to the middle. But they're all 10. And then what you want to do is, now that this piece is loose, you actually want to kind of slide it toward the center of the truck and then pry it out. So kind of bend the material a little bit. This piece is going to come out. That's most of the time that's normal, but you got to remember how that goes back in. So the way this piece works is it actually sits right here and acts as the nut, because your 10mm screws will go through this part and through the plastic liner and into this plastic section. So you have to put that back on when you're all done. Once you have this back, you can easily gain access to the fog light. It's right here, and you have a little wire connector that has a tab that you push and then you pull down, and that's the wiring, how it comes off. And then you can access the bulb right here. Twist it out just like we showed you before. And now you can install your new bulb. If you're going to install the 2nd generation LED headlight bulbs from GTR Lighting, right now you can just line up the 3 tabs and it should go right in place. And your wires should just clip right together. Same goes for if you're doing the smaller 16 LED H11 bulbs. If you want to remove the fog light, it's actually easier than you think. Once you have access to it by removing the plastic panel in front of the tire, there's one screw, one Phillips screw that holds it in place. Right now I have the screwdriver on it, so you can see where that screw is. It looks hidden, but it's actually fairly accessible to get to. You take out that screw and the entire assembly falls down. This demonstration shows the stock headlights with the stock fog lights. If I turn it on and off, you can see the light emitted by the fog lights. It's a fairly wide, actually, not very tall, very controlled beam. You know, Toyota Tundras have always had really good stock lighting, and I think we're seeing that here with the stock fog lights also. But there's still a lot of room for improvement. Even though the beam pattern itself is pretty decent, they're really quite dim. When you are driving this thing at night with your headlights on, the fog lights, you can tell that they illuminate, but they don't really do a whole lot. There's definitely room for improvement on the fog light output. Next up, I want to show you the 16 LED bulbs from GTR Lighting. This is like your level 1 LED fog light bulb. It's not really brighter than stock. It's more of like, you know, just changing the color and style of your fog lights. The beam pattern is way more dispersed, so it's more of a flood instead of a linear beam. And when I turn it off, you can really see how much it fills in just everywhere. So at first glance, they aren't as bright because you don't have that concentrated beam. But the reality is these actually put out about the same amount of light as your stock fog lights, but it's a different color and it's a completely different beam pattern. You can think of the 16 LED bulbs, the level 1 LED fog light kit for the Tundra. You can consider it like an LED floodlight for your fogs. We're not going to demo the HID conversion kit because I feel like it's kind of hard to install. There's a lot more work and it's more expensive than the GTR Lighting LED headlight bulbs that we put in. So the last one I'm going to show you is the GTR Lighting 2nd generation LED headlight kit, the H11 that we put in the fog. So you can see it's way brighter than the stock fog light bulbs. But the nice thing about this one compared to the level 1, you know, that smaller 16 LED bulb, is the beam pattern is way more controlled. It's not just a great big circle. You actually have the similar kind of contoured horizontal beam pattern of the original fog light. So that's something that the headlight bulbs here, or the LED conversion kit, this level 2 light bulb kit, does better than the cheaper bulbs. It's brighter and the beam pattern is way more noticeable and suitable for fog lights. If I turn it off, you can really see what is being illuminated, and in fact you could even argue that these are brighter than the headlights in this demonstration. And the other big benefit of going with this level 2 kit, how we're calling it, is each kit comes with a whole bunch of different color shields, so you can change the color of your light bulbs on the fly. You just pull it out, take the shield off, and put the new one on. And so the first color that we showed you was 6000K, or you can go with something like this that's 3000K, or here, watch, we'll swap out the color shields again and you'll get 8000K. So you can really dictate what color you have, and if you're bored with one color, you don't have to buy another set of bulbs. You just swap out the shields and it takes 2 seconds. Well, that does it for our 2014 and up Toyota Tundra fog light video. If you like this video and you want this product for your truck, visit us online at www.headlightrevolution.com. But if you're just in the mood for watching videos, subscribe to our channel so you see what we show for this type of Tundra in our next video. You can also check out our video playlist. We have a ton of Tundra and other truck and lighting videos on our channel. So I hope you learned something. I hope you understand why, you know, we're pushing the particular products that we are, because some don't work as good as others, or you know, some are just as bright as others. You don't need to upgrade. So I hope that you learned something about the options that are available for your truck. If you want to do the LED fog light bulb upgrades, please contact us. Again, the website is headlightrevolution.com. We also have these product kits linked to our website in the description below this video. Thanks for watching.